Well, this football season is starting, so I definitely got to get a hold on the last of these positions. So it's the free safety position. It's very confusing because there are teams and players that moved around safety position wise. Players that are free safety that might be strong safety next year, strong safeties that might be free safeties this year. So it wasn't easy for me to try to put a list out, but this is where I got. And honorable mention, we start with Xavier Woods from the Carolina Panthers, but has transitioned to the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, 30 years old, 8 years in the league, 2 years, $8 million for the Tennessee Titans. So overall, I think it's a pretty good signing for him. He had 17 games that he played, had 119 tackles, two tackles for loss, three interceptions, six pass deflections, blitzed five times, and had a QB hurry. Obviously, it's the Panthers. They did not make a Super Bowl or didn't make a playoff run, let alone a Super Bowl. But overall, this is a guy that's going to bring some influence to the Tennessee Titans. I mean, this is definitely he's going from a rebuilding team to another rebuilding team, and definitely I would say a downgrade in terms of the team. But overall, Xavier Woods is a good piece for him, and if they're trying to rebuild, it's a start for him. So overall, Xavier Woods definitely blossoming, being relevant in the league. We got a guy that I thought was potential top 10 talent in terms of the position when he was playing in Jacksonville when they made the playoffs. Obviously, it seems like he's been okay. Definitely not as impressive with the numbers as he was, but overall, it's still a solid choice to have, especially for a good Jets prove it signing from Andre Cisco. Has been he's a pretty good posing type of force, man. He's ready to do the dirty work. He's ready to make the tackles that when he needs. He's ready to make decent plays. So overall, he should be looked at as potential uh, potential influence for the Jets defense. Andre Cisco is 25 years old, 4 years in the league, 1 year, $8.5 million, 16 games that he played, 68 tackles, one tackle for loss, one interception, seven pass deflections, and blitzed 10 times. No playoffs, no accolades, but Andre Cisco is a pretty good pick there, and with the free safety very thin, I think he makes a pretty good case for him being on this list. We do have Cameron Kinchins from the Los Angeles Rams. Yeah, I mean, not many plays from his rookie year, which is a shame because he actually had a pretty decent rookie year. Definitely showed a lot of high potential, and definitely seemed like he's going to be a pretty big value to the Rams defense, especially with them being young. Again, it's really good to have a nice young piece there at the secondary level. Kinchins definitely can be super exciting and fun to watch in the future. Kinchins 22 years old, only 1 year in the league, 3 years, $3.9 million on his rookie deal. This man had 17 games played, 57 tackles, one tackle for loss, four interceptions for 123 yards, with one of them being a touchdown, six pass deflections, one forced fumble, one fumble recovery, and blitz two times in the playoffs. 2 games that he played, 11 tackles. He was 10th in interceptions in the league, third in interception return yards, and he was first in the longest interception of the season. So, yeah, overall, I think he definitely is a Pro Bowler in the making. I think, if he continues to work on it, he's going to be an All Pro type guy. I mean, yeah, he is a ball hawk, and he is going to make great plays for the Rams in the future. I'm excited to see what he does this year. Up, we got a guy that was in the top 10 at this position in Jalen Petre. It was very hard for me not to put him on here. Again, it's very thin. So I've seen great tape on Jalen Petre. He is a force to be reckoned with. He's a hard hitting safety. He gets after it, great tackler, and overall has the abilities of continuously getting better. I don't believe he won't be in a top 10 countdown next year. I think he definitely will, and I think he'll take the strides to be that. He just, he had an injury plague season there, so I cannot put him here in terms of the top 10, but I can put him in the honorable mention list. 26 years old, 3 years in the league. He's got 3 years, $39 million. 12 games played, 65 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 2 QB hits, one interception, 8 pass deflections, one forced fumble, 44 times that he blitzed with a QB hurry and 2 QB knockdowns. he also didn't play the playoffs, so that does suck, man. Overall, Petre is definitely looking like a talented, talented safety, and I do believe he's got Pro Bowl nods in his favor in the future, and hopefully he can be a top 10 guy sooner rather than later again. Up, it's Brandon Jones. Yeah, Brandon Jones out of the Denver Broncos. Very underrated guy. Definitely seems like, based on the experience, kind of a late bloomer for me, but he's still a pretty big piece to the Denver Bronco defense, which is going to get even better this year. Brandon Jones can definitely have a pretty good say in terms of that secondary and his improvements with his game. So Brandon Jones definitely a guy to be interested about and figure out what is he about to do. How is he going to look like? 27 years old, 5 years in the league, 2 years, $14 million, 16 games that he played, 115 tackles, two tackles for loss, one QB hit, three interceptions, 10 pass deflections, one forced fumble, one fumble recovery, 14 times blitzing, two QB hurries, and one QB knockdown. He had one playoff game. He had seven tackles, actually. So, overall, Brandon Jones definitely has a good potential of being a Pro Bowler next year. Obviously, you're going to benefit off having some great guys around you, and, nothing against what he's able to do. I definitely believe that might impact the ability of how he played this past year, but it doesn't discredit his ability and his stats and whatnot. And again, he's he's here for a reason. So honorable mention, well deserved. How about the retirements? How so? I mean, there wasn't really that many honorable mentions this year, but retirements wise, there are two names that I do want to mention. Micah Hyde's the first one right here. Yeah, I mean, Micah Hyde, nothing extraordinary, but he's had some great years, a few great years actually to his name. Was a super big, important piece to the Buffalo Bills defense that obviously went from bottom of a division in the AFCs, getting dominated by the Pats, to becoming a division favorite and definitely becoming a contender to go far in the playoffs. So Micah Hyde definitely has done his due diligence in the league, regardless of him definitely not being a Hall of Famer or not. But he was a good football player, man. Yeah, I mean, 11 years in the league. He played for Buffalo. He played for Green Bay. He had 158 games that he played. He had 644 career tackles, 24 interceptions, 66 pass deflections. In the playoffs, he played 17 games there. Really not something that I look at the stat wise and I'm like, whoa, I need to mention this. But, he had his fair share of playoff games. He was a second team All Pro member twice, and he was a Pro Bowler one time. So, yeah, overall, not like the best safety, not someone that's like, I got to cover this guy. This guy has a lot of stuff to look to like mention, but overall, I mean, still happy retirement to him, and we'll see where his next chapter goes and if it's in football still. Second retirement, I think, is more important, and it's Honey Badger. Tyrann Mathieu, his story was great. Going to LSU, definitely having issues with substance abuse and whatnot, coming from a super hard background, but he came to play, made waves in LSU, made waves wherever he was, and he was a great contributor to Super Bowl teams. So, again, Tyrann Mathieu, Honey Badger, 12 years in the league, played for Arizona, New Orleans, Kansas City, and Houston. He had 180 games that he played. He had 835 tackles. He had 45 tackles for loss. He had 11 sacks, 36 interceptions, 4 touchdowns, 100 pass deflections. He played 11 games in the playoffs. Nothing really extraordinary in terms of that, but he obviously was a huge impact for the teams that he played for when he had to get a chance to go to the playoffs slash Super Bowls. Again, Tyrann Mathieu, he's a three-time first-team All-Pro member, three-time Pro Bowler, All-Rookie team in 2013, Hall of Fame All-2010s team, and a Super Bowl 54 champion with the Kansas City Chiefs. Went back the year after, didn't win that repeat, but this is Tyrann Mathieu at his best. He has been tremendous for every team he's played, and yeah, I mean, I want to see what he does in his future. Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to be possibly criticized about this. It's Kevin Byard at number 10. Obviously, he's definitely gone downhill in terms of the numbers and production, his impact, and I get that. But this year, he's had a pretty decent year, and I think he had an underrated year in terms of him trying to possibly come back into his own. Yeah, I mean, Kevin Byard, last year, honorable mention at strong safety. This year, number 10 at free safety. 32 years old, 9 years in the league. Had 1 year, $7 million left in his contract with the Bears. Played 17 games, had 130 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 2 QB hits, 1 interception, 7 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 sacks, blitzed 11 times, and 2 QB hurries. Honestly, the stat line is pretty nice. I think obviously the big thing is that he was a ball hawk and he was getting 4 to 6 picks a year. So not having that and having the tackles, I guess, is great. But overall, yeah, we would love to see more of the ball hawking if you're a Bears fan, right? Or just a football fan if you just enjoy players doing well, right? I believe Kevin Byard would like to get back to that. Will he? I mean, he is aging, and again, this is a very, very slim position. So when there are better players out there, more players getting drafted, more players elevating their game and whatnot, yeah, I don't think he will be 10, and we'll see if he even goes to honorable mention at this point. But overall, right now, he's number 10 to me. Definitely due to change what happens this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's not on the list next year.